best. Do 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 do. I'm loving my life, living my dreams, losing my fears, spreading my wings, feeling alive, anticipating what the future holds for me. Now I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next, 'cause I expect the best. Ooh, I expect the best. Do 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 do. Hey, everybody. Have a little more. Oh, more where that came from. Lots more. All right, this song is Path of Light by Catherine Economou and Peggy Lebo. Good song. I will trust in the Spirit. I will open my heart. I will always remember the truth of love that has brought me this far. So lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. Lead me on this path of light, I'll shine a light in the darkness. I will bring forth my truth and listen to yours. I will always honor beauty and the light that I see in you. So lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace.
Oh, thank you.
Lead me on this path of light. As I breathe, I become completely one with the light and the love. Completely one. As I breathe, I become completely one with the light and the love. Completely one. So lead me on this path of light, and grace.
Christine, Laria, thank you. That was so beautiful.
Thanks.
Christine, doing double duty. So thank you, Christine. Thank you for tuning in and are coming here in person. Welcome to the May 2nd New Thought Center of Hawaii Sunday service. This is our sanctuary of aloha. My name is Stephen Goss, and I'm your facilitator for today's service. I would like to remind everybody here in the Lanai that at New Thought we follow the state rules guidance for COVID, basically. Stuff you already know, but the social distancing, 6 feet, except for people who live together. Um, please don't move the chairs around, the usual no. Doing things like holding hands, what a terrible thing. um, and you need to wear your mask completely covering your nose at all times, unless you are speaking. The speakers and the facilitators may remove the mask while speaking. And if you're singing, but the audience not going to be doing any singing, the koa bowl is going to stay on the table and not be passed around. If you would like to make a donation, come up later and put something into it. We have a supply of face masks if you don't have any, with hand sanitizers and wipes. So I'd like to start out this morning with a special prayer for Rob McGregor. This is going to be a prayer slash affirmation slash mindful treatment for one of our beloved, deeply connected members who has recently, very recently, experienced a medical emergency. But at this point, he is doing much better and is alert. That's right, I can take my mask down if I'm speaking. Have to test, have to figure out a better way here. I think it looks kind of weird hanging off your ear. So on with the prayer. He's doing much. For Rob McGregor, we say this is not to try to reach or heal Rob's mind or some mind out there in the void, but instead to remove and clear up, to heal our own minds of any doubt and fears that there is just one life, and that life is God, or whatever you prefer to call it. That life is perfect. Life is Rob's life now. That life is my life now. It is your life now. It is flowing through us, circulating in us all. And we are one with its rhythms. And all hearts beat with this pulsation of thing that seems less than perfect. It is cast out because there is one perfect life in us all now. And so it is. And so if we would just take 1 minute of silence to try to appreciate that reality. Our esteemed New Thought president, Pasha McGregor, is in Honolulu now with Rob, and she's probably watching the service live on her telephone. So I better not screw up here. Um, so everybody give a big shout out, say hi. Pasha and Rob, we love you. Um, I'd like to thank everybody that showed up, the volunteers this morning that to help set up. It was very important today since Pasha's not here, and she usually is the one to make things go right. But it seems to be going okay. Uh, I'd like to start, if Ramona would do a reading from the Science of Mind magazine for us.
Testing. Okay, so it's not on. Testing. Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm going to be reading from the Science of Mind magazine, and there's some information here, some words that come from Ernest Holmes. But the first part, this has to do with inexhaustible supply. When we enter the spiritual life, we gain every quality that is required in making life full and complete in our own state of being. And we gain the power to produce and create in the external world whatever we may need or desire. Many have taught that we are fed from the table of the universe, whose board is ever spread with blessedness and peace, whose loving kindness has never been fathomed, whose grace and truth are the cornerstones of reality. If you only knew how much you are loved and cared for, you would fear nothing, acting as though this whole universe is here to love and support you. And yet we suffer. We suffer because we don't believe it. And in our lack of belief, we push away the very things we so desire in the deepest part of our being. Faith is a tricky thing, isn't it? Believing in what you cannot see. But faith in what you cannot see is everything. Socrates said, "Know thyself." In the knowing of self, we come to realize our divine essence. We begin to see that we are more than just these flesh and bone bodies. We begin to see that we can tap into the divine nature of the universe. We realize we are never alone. We realize we are loved unconditionally and that we are creators of our own universe. No matter what is going on in the outer world, the craziness, the confusion, the fear, we rise above all of that into the light. We know because there is a divine light within us, which transcends all things. We rise above the din and confusion. We are in the flow and moving in life with ease and grace. Everything is going our way because we resist nothing. Instead, we are part of the all. We are fed at the inexhaustible table of the divine, and ultimately, our greatest expression is one of gratitude and thanksgiving. We are willing now to transcend this world of appearances into true reality. And so I'm going to read the affirmation, and if you would repeat it. I release my fear and sense of separation. All is good because all is the divine. So let's do that again. I release my fear and sense of separation. All is good because all is the divine. Okay, and so it is.
Thank you, Ramona. read that very well. Um, before we go on, I don't want to forget our lay minister makes these wonderful, beautiful lays. And if Patty, you could present our speaker today with her lay.
Music time? Well,
Yes.
I'm all ready to go after Lay Day yesterday too, so that's exciting. Oops, microphone. There we go. Yeah. Thank you for those the beautiful readings, and Stephen for all the facilitating, and everybody for being here. It's so good to be with you, and what a gift to be here on the lanai and in the open air and with each other. Yeah. So I'm really grateful for that. I have lots of different things to share today, and this is a song that always because it gets at the heart of that thing of living as an infinite being in a rather finite body, which is what the heck. We have that experience a lot. What the heck with all this that we know? We know all those things we were just affirming, and we know, and what the heck? So, and I'll be speaking more into that. But this is a song by Karen Taylor Good, and it's called "I Always Know What I Need to Know." Super fun. I always I need to know when I need to know it. Every time I forget that, so the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. How does the mighty oak face the changes autumn brings? He doesn't worry if he'll grow new leaves. Spring, let me be that trusting. Let me let go and know the buds are on their way, though I'm naked in the snow. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. Every time I forget that, so the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. How does the tiny robin feel when she finally leaves the nest? She takes a giant leap of faith and lets nature do the rest. Let me be that faithful. Let me dare to fly. Though my wings are frail, they will not fail. There's a simple reason why. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. And every time I forget that, so the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. There's a power in the universe greater than just me, and it works a million miracles when I let it be. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. And every time I forget that, so the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. I need to know when I need to know it.
That was amazing. It was fun and inspiring. So, and I love those high notes that were you hit. A little introduction to the New Thought Center, Hawaii. Our history started as the Kona Community Church of Religious Science was founded ancient history way back in 1971. The center has been at this location on our beautiful lanai since 1999 in Kealakekua. And our mission here is to provide a sanctuary of aloha for the nourishment, development, and evolution of each individual's, I forgot again, spiritual path. We are connected to the outside world by being affiliated with the International New Thought Alliance, which is a group of many organizations, churches, and individuals who share certain common beliefs and attitudes, good attitudes. Among them is the idea that a new thought embodied in consciousness will produce a new condition. I personally am here because I want to recognize that we're all part of a greater reality. And things don't happen to us, they happen for us. Uh, I like that. Oh, why did this happen to me? Oh, well, it's actually what it is. It happened for me because it's one way or the other, it's a lesson. And I think what I'm supposed to do is always the same lesson. Like, oh, you have a choice. You know, do you want to go down or up? Do you want to feel good or you want to feel bad? You know, it's all interpretation. Uh, yeah, I- it's an opportunity to perceive things in a way that leads to being more. Another reason we gather here is to learn to not take it all so seriously. I often do, and have a few laughs along the way. Um, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to hear another song now, Christine, and then we'll introduce you after that. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that. You know that these beautiful tenets of New Thought and science of mind about everything being in the one, and knowing that and affirming that in every possible way. And this song that I'm going to share is a song I wrote many years ago. And if you're anything like me, you're probably not the same as you were many years ago. And the things that you maybe thought of as even the truth may be different now. And things that you explored along your path that had great meaning and that had gave you great sustenance, maybe now they're fine, but they're not actually part of your path anymore. It's that beautiful thing that we do as we move along through all that we are. So this song came as part of my originally as part of, gosh, I would say I was sort of a radical Christian, meaning I was there, but I never knew what they were talking about. I didn't really know what anybody meant by the Trinity, and I didn't know what this and that meant, and it didn't matter that I didn't know, because I was doing the same thing that everybody else was doing, which was living as the love that I am and that we are, and sharing presence with one another, and that transcends beliefs for me. So this song is called Gratitude, and I realized that it has the word God in it. And I was hearing somebody say earlier about maybe God is a concept that doesn't make any sense or is not something you choose to adopt in a belief system. And I don't know that it is for me either, but there's something, isn't there, that is this all that is. Whether we call it chi or universe or unity or love or God. And we all have words for it. Why? Because we're humans and we love words. And we want to communicate and connect with one another. And that's one of the ways we do it. So this has God in it. And as I looked at it, I was looking at, wow, when I wrote this song, I mean, it was years and years ago, God was still out there. And I know that's a familiar thing that many of us have traveled through, that there was something external to ourselves that we prayed to. Well, now God is everywhere for me, and it's the all, and it's the is, and it's the yes, and it's the unity field, and it's all of it. It's love. I have no container for it anymore, but there's still a word here. So when this word comes in, and the first line says, everything we are, oh God, is you. That to me is affirming the all that we are, and it's the same thing. So a little bit of explanation there for you. Not that it's even necessary, because we all receive how we receive, I know. And let's see if there's anything else that wants to be said about that. I don't think so. It's a song called Gratitude. Thankful for the isness. Everything we are, oh God, is you. Everything we do, every breath we breathe through our hearts, we breathe as you. Everything we want to be is found in this blessed truth. And all we can know in response is gratitude. Live as our hearts and let our hearts live as you. Move as our lives and let our lives magnify you. Open our arms to let this love move through. As humbly every day and night, each thought and breath says thank you. All that we see, oh God, let us see as you. Oh, we behold in our hearts, let us know as you. And let our lives lived as love be signs of this blessed truth. So all that we know, all that we know, all that we know in response is gratitude. Gratitude.
Wow, great standing ovation. As long as I'm standing, yeah. I'm going to wait to introduce you till after the ordinaries and miracles. This is a good time for anybody out there in the audience to share some event in their lives where you get the feeling that life is happening for you, at least at that time, and not to you. Like maybe you finally got the break you deserved. It doesn't have to be a major miracle, just something you'd like to share. So is there anybody that would like to come up and do that, just to come up to this microphone and have at it? Right. But you, do we have any takers? All right. I hear silence is golden. Laura, would you like to just, yes, please come up.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So happy to be here. Um, I raised my hand because, okay, just raise your hand. Hi. Um, for me, I've just been dabbling a little more with art, with finger painting, like canvases, and I brought some from Charlotte to here, and I just wanted to share the miracle. Is I just really I'm bringing out I feel like I'm transforming my relationship to professional kindergarten artist to professional artist, and I've been just finger painting these canvases and creating meditations to them and listening to them like really speak to me. And I'm actually doodling a lot and having so much fun. And I've been already taking notes with my doodles here. And I'm just having so much fun with markers and play and just like feeling like I'm bringing the spiritual energy wherever I am, like in the car or whatever. So it just feels like the miracle to bring that play wherever I am so much more and brighter. So that's my miracle.
Thank you. I hope we get to share some of it, see it today. Um, Anybody else? Well, I think it was a miracle here this morning that all the tech equipment got set up and it seems to be working properly. So thank you, whoever you are there. So whatever. So I'm going to introduce Christine as a speaker now. She's a spiritual teacher, a clear sensory guide, energy healer, and sound channel. Through her vibrational transmissions of presence, insight, and sound, in her many lifetimes, but particular in this one, she's played the roles of daughter, sister, wife, mother, grandmother, muse, dancer, dance teacher, classical soprano, university music professor, choral and orchestra conductor, Carnegie Hall soloist, an author, a featured guest speaker, nationally televised CBS special music director, energy healer. Is this enough? Uh, channel, a coach, a photographer, and last but not least, a mermaid. So, Christine.
Am I on? I'm good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been an amazing lifetime. Is that me? Yep, that's me. Maybe turn the other ones off. That might help the feedback. There we go. Got it. Good job. Um, and that it's interesting to me because I know those are all roles I've played, and we all play our roles, and then we are this amazing infinity and having this amazing experience and all these roles that we play. And the list is fun for me because it doesn't really have anything to do with who I am. So I just thought I'd share that. So I'd like to take a moment as we begin to just tune in to one another, to this beautiful vibrational field that we're creating together. That is a composite of our presence, our intentions, our knowing, our wisdom, our gifts. And I'm also tuning in as we tune into each other and what we are interested in co-creating and experiencing today to like a vortex of celestial blessing for each of us. That is a great outpouring of gratitude for all that you are, all that you do, all that you know and be, all that you bring through in this amazing, miraculous life that you are. And just receiving a blessing of gratitude for that which you are. And you are it already. A tremendous gift to your own life and to everybody else. So just breathing, receiving that with you. It's good, isn't it? It feels good to be what we are. Beautiful. So my intention for today and for this time is that that we co-create an illumination and an experience together. That's what we're interested in receiving and knowing and being. And the nice thing is I find that we all go ahead of ourselves, and we do that already. So thank God my job's done. I could probably sit down. Yeah. But maybe we'll just walk through what's happening, what we're all creating together. So thank you for that. And that is my intention. And that it be uplifting, and maybe that it be illuminating, and maybe that it be a blessing of some kind. And I would also say that I have no attachment to my intention, and I'm ready for it to be whatever it is, including completely boring, uninspiring, waste of your time. Now, not that that's my intention, but I'm open. If I wasn't open, I wouldn't really be honoring the powerful creators that we all are, would I? I'd be doing that thing where I might be visiting an agenda on you, albeit a very lovely one. But I don't still feel it would be in my greatest knowing of my heart to honor you, which is that we will have what we will have, and we will know what we will know, and we will be what we will be, and it is good. Yeah. So yeah, that's my intention. And I love the freedom of space, that it can be anything it wants to be, rather than what I say it should show up as. Because if I say to my life, I really need you to be this way, I don't know if you're anything like me, my life honors me. Like, it honors me so completely. And when I give a message of, I am in resistance to this and I am in allowance of this, my life understands that I'm walking a point of tension and that I want to know more about that tension. So that's how I feel it honors me with those intentions. So I'll get into that a little more too. My topic today, I think I said something about living the sweet spot, living the divine connection of your dreams, which is in a sense an irony, right? Like, how can you be connected to what you are? If you are it already, can you ever be disconnected? Could you actually not be it? And I think we all know the answer. Well, no, there's no way to not be what we are, but there sure is a whole bunch of opportunities to not experience it. You can have so many experiences that feel like, well, this does not feel like infinite divinity to me right now. Okay, let me give you an example. I live in a little ohana up Malka from Kainaliu, and our landlord comes. He walks in. He's walking down. He's about 80. Wonderful man. He says, I am the bearer of bad news. I was like, what is it, Don? He goes, there's no water, and there's nothing I can do about it right now. And the catchment tank wasn't empty, but there was a key component that wasn't working. And so there's that weird thing that we experience as humans, because we see everything in the spectrum of polarity and duality. And we know we do this, even though we know better. We all know that we experience polarity and duality. I know what high vibrations feel like, and so do you. We know what it feels like to be in our vibrational yes. We know what it feels like to just be aligned and resonant and spot on and in tune and full of grace and feeling grateful. And we don't feel that way all the time. Because why? Because we're infinite and we're divine. And as far as I can see so far, infinite contains all energies and not just some. But then I get in this weird conundrum, because I'm a human and I don't like the lower end of the spectrum. I just don't like it. I don't really like it when there's no water. I don't really like it like recently when there were little critters in the storage closet and one of them's died in there and I can't find it. And it's really unpleasant. I don't like it. I don't actually like it when I feel angry. And you know what? Sometimes I just totally do. I don't like it when I feel discouraged. I don't like it when I put a lot of effort into something and I give it my all and maybe nobody shows up, or it doesn't seem like it matters to anybody, or the time comes finally to do it and I feel I don't like it when any of that stuff happens. But you know what? For me, that's still all God, or whatever you want to call it. Because I can't seem to find a line in the sand that says everything over here on the high vibrational end of the spectrum is God, is all that is love, is the whatever, what I'm supposed to be, what I know that I am. See, this is what we're going to get into today. When we take that beautiful consciousness and awareness that we have and we visit it on ourselves like a brickbat. Well, I know that everything's love. I know that everything's unified. I know this is true. And then we put that on top of something we're feeling. And then we're kind of stuck because what do we do with that? They don't jive, do they? I mean, they do, but they don't. And for me, the reason where I find the reconciliation has nothing to do with the reason. I have no idea about the reasons. Boy, I definitely do not spend a lot of time on why. Because there's an infinite number of answers to why. But I love to spend time on what. So for me, the reconciliation of human and divine, of finite and infinite, of being in a body that has an edge that doesn't just go on out over the ocean, though my awareness and my consciousness sure does, just like yours. The way that I reconcile all of it is through presence. And also with an awareness. This is something that has come beautifully. I'm so grateful for it. When this awareness dropped in, different vibrational planes have different sets of rules. They just do. 3D has certain sets of rules. 3D, there's polarity, and there's duality, and there's conflict, and there's opinion, and there's judgment, and there's beginnings and endings, actually. Because there are, like this body and this particular container who has that sweet little list of all the things that she's done, well, that particular life in that iteration will come to an end. And what we are, does that come to an end? Does not feel like it to me. How many times have we gone around? Yeah. So there's this what do they call that oxymoron when you just have irreconcilable truths, and they're all true. I'm infinite and I'm finite. I'm God, and sometimes I'm kind of a jerk. It's just true. I have my better moments and my worse ones. I'm not always patient. I'm not always loving. But as a friend of mine would say, I may not be all that God is, but all that I am is God. In other words, I may not be having an experience of everything that's out there. But everything that this experience is of that. And I know you all know this, right? Like we totally know it. I thought looking at coming and speaking here today, which was, well, everybody knows everything already. Like, why would you need somebody to talk about it? And yet we do, and we gather, and we hear it come through different containers, don't we? And we hear it come in different ways, and we hear it come with different spins, and we sit there and we go, well, no, that's not true for me, but yeah, that part is, and it helps us refine what we experience and align with. So for whatever reason, I'm holding the microphone today. And so I take that as a signal of we're all interested in illuminating something. Yeah. And part of it is that for me in this way, I know that I am not always in the awareness of everything, but everything that this awareness and this life is of that everything. Okay. So if I take this knowing that I have and that I am, which is that I'm infinite. I mean, I sing about it, I speak about it, we breathe it, we love it, we live it, we know it. We are this all. We are this perfection. We are creation in motion. And in addition to what you were sharing, Stephen, I'll say if life isn't necessarily happening to me, but it is happening through me. Whatever that me is, what is that me? Oh, well, that's my subset. Okay, so now I have a way to look at it, because as far as I can see, this is what's really helpful for me in looking at this way that we visit our knowing on ourselves in a way that is not helpful for our sweet little human animal, because I think our little human animals are pretty awesome. And to me, this body, this is this beautiful identity, this life, this person, this woman, well, any of the descriptors we want to give, it's a vehicle. It's a space for life to move through and create through as God, and the little self in there to me is of both, I have great tenderness and compassion for that, and it's not the one driving the boat. It's the one who has opinions. Okay? And we all have them. No matter how enlightened we become, and no matter how gracious in living the love that we are, we will have preferences. That's another way to call opinions. I have a preference. This is my preference. My preference is that everybody be like this, or everybody be like that, or that we get to do this, or that we don't do that, that we behave this way and not that way. There's all these preferences, and those are part of this finite vehicle.
Yeah, it's got a little pop.
Yeah, that'll help with the little all that stuff. Thank you. Oh, much better. Yeah, and thank you so much, Stephen, because I know you're just like wearing all the hats. And you've done great. You are doing great. And look, now we don't have pops. No, actually, I don't know. I think perfect's your average. I think it's true for all of us. Now, see, that's so perfect because that's exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, well, if I were just totally in my divinity, if I were in the whole thing and I were being fully aware and checking off all the list of the requirements that I'm making of my human self, which is that I be smart and that I be kind and that I be compassionate and that I be healthy and that I have the right political viewpoint and that I do this. I mean, we have a long checklist of what looks like how we think it should be. And yet we're just all whatever variation of that we are. And sometimes it's elevated and lofty and amazing, and sometimes it's not. But if we take it from that bigger view and that biggest vantage point, okay, well, is this thing that just happened with forgetting to put a fuzzy red thing on a mic, is that part of the all that is? By golly, it is. What if that's the evaluation? Is it included? Yes, it's included. Anything else we put on top of it is a meaning. We put a meaning on it. Okay, this happened. This was a good thing. This happened. This was a bad thing. This happened over here, and it's on the upper end of the spectrum. When I miss all the notes that I miss on the piano, oh, that could be down here on the other end of the spectrum. And yet, if we take a different viewpoint, which is, well, is it included in the all? Yes, it is. And we come back to what you were sharing, which is, and what's my choice with that? Well, my choice is to be loving. My choice is to be present. For me, the presence is loving. Loving, unconditional love, for me, is synonymous with pure presence. So when I'm being with these human aspects, which we're all going to do, because as far as I can see, as long as we're here, no matter how enlightened we are, no matter how illumined, we will have human stuff. We will have opinions, we will have preferences, we will have experiences that we think, hey, I did great. We'll have ones where we say, nah, not so good. But if I assign a meaning of wrongness on any of those things, where have I landed? I've landed smack dab in separation again. And it hurts there. At least that's my experience. It's painful to be there. So the thing that was of particular interest to me as I looked toward today was when we have a lot of beautiful knowing, which every single person in this room does, and probably anybody tuning in, because these things are of interest to us. And we know a lot of things. And we actually not only know these things, we have and continually have transcendent experiences of our true nature. However we do that, through our own practices, through nature, whatever it is, and we just go, God, I am so, yeah, whew. And dimensions open up that we're maybe not in all the time. And when I say dimensions, I just mean vibrational planes of reality, and everything is frequency and everything is vibration. 3D is dense, has a lot of matter. Oh my gosh. And don't things matter to us here in 3D? It really matters. It becomes, oh, there's more matter. Yep, that matters too. Oh, there's some more. Oh, kind of heavy. There's a lot of matter in 3D. And so these different vibrational planes have different rules and they don't reconcile. Oxymorons, mutually exclusive things. So when I take my knowing from a really beautiful, high, pristine vibrational place, and I put it on top of something that's happening to me in the 3D. Okay, some examples. I know that all is perfection and that this, whatever you call it, God, love, universe, the all that is all powerful. I affirm this reality. Why am I still sick? Why does my back hurt? Why did this painful thing happen with my beloved? Well, everything's God, everything's over here, and this is the truth. Maybe you're just not realizing the truth enough. Do you see how that line of thought leaves you feeling pretty crappy? And you're taking your knowing, which is actually true, and you're visiting it on part of you that's like, I'm down here doing the very best that I can. And if I had a way to totally embody vibrationally in all my awareness, in all my experience, all that I know, geez, I would be doing it. I would just do it. Did any of you ever say, I actually know the way? I know exactly how it is to like live in the God space all the time. I know it. I mean, here's how you do it. And I know that if I choose this and if I am in this awareness, then that's what happens. And everything is healed and the world is instantly healed and I'm instantly healed. And I'm also in a space that is, I would call it of equilibrium and grace and good mood and everything all the time. And I know how to do it, but I'm actually not going to choose that. I think instead I'll go over here and play with this like thing that I hate experiencing. And I'll just have this experience that's really frustrating. And are any of you doing that? No. I mean, not intentionally, right? Like if we knew, if we had that route available, we would do it. Who wouldn't do it? So what's going on then? That's where that knowing well, I must not be getting it right. I must not be affirming it all the way through deeply enough. Maybe I don't believe it. Maybe I have limiting beliefs that I don't know about yet. Maybe it's, something in my diet. I don't know. Maybe I'm not eating clean enough. Maybe it's because I, had that blah, blah, blah. And you see, we start piling meanings onto our experience. And in that piling on a meaning, we feel pretty wrong. And then we don't even really believe in wrong. We're like, actually, no, I've transcended the polar dual plane, and I know that everything is. And then there we are, somehow through our human experience, feeling wrong again. Nice deep breath. Yeah. So for me, the way through this and into it in such a way that we have a space of grace to be, because it is there and it is what we are. To have space of grace within us in that stillness, to have the space of grace where everything is welcome. Here's how I practice that, because it is a practice. And probably many parts of this will be familiar to you, but it's such a profound practice. It's such a profound practice, and it's taken me out of what I call consciousness abuse to myself, which is, I know better. Why am I creating like this? So I'll notice there's usually just a couple things in this practice. The first thing I do is I just take a deep breath and I notice what's here. I just notice. So let's do this together, okay? Because as I've been talking, you've all found your little spots. We all have them, right? Well, here's where I kind of make myself wrong. Here's the place where I feel like I'm not quite getting it enough. If I was getting it, it would probably be like this. Okay, so just take whatever, any one of them. We'll do this all together. Just take a breath and notice, is there any of that somewhere in your body? Like if you just tune into your body and you go, okay, well, yeah, this thing that I visit on myself, where is that? There you go. You're finding it. Say, thank you, body. Oh, thank you for giving me that information. Wow, what an amazing transmitter you are of information. So wise, so perfectly attuned. Thank you, body. I got it. I'm listening. You have my full and undivided attention. Now let's bring that out in front of us. And as I do this, I'm going to do a little bit of crystal bowls. These are alchemy singing bowls. And they start with quartz and then they add beautiful things. We have a laughing Buddha Supreme and a citrine and palladium with aqua aura gold. And this one is kunzite with aqua aura gold and smoky quartz. So beautiful vibrations to assist us. So just bring that thing, wherever you noticed it in your body, out in front of you, just so you can be with it and to notice it. To notice it the way that you would a beloved or a little child that you love. You say, thank you, body. You don't have to carry that information for me anymore because I got it. I'm listening. Now, as we do this particular practice, I would like you to have no agenda, if you're willing and interested, to simply have no agenda with that which you've just brought out into your awareness. Meaning, we don't need to heal it and we don't need it to go away and we don't need it to be different. If you walked into the lanai and I said, the first thing I said was, gosh, I have to figure out how to get you out of here, probably wouldn't feel very welcome or loved. So we just say, you're welcome here. And we just notice that. We notice that part that we've been in relationship with in a way that's actually been painful. We say, I got it. And so then we be with it like we would a beloved. We say, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. And you don't have to go anywhere either, but I would love to know everything about you. Can you show me all that you are? And we notice. All is welcome here. All is welcome. I'm here. You are welcome. We just ask it to show us everything about it. What have I not seen about you? And we notice and we say, well, is there anything more that I haven't seen? Is there more to you? Whether it's a fear or a sadness or just simply an experience or an idea. Is there more that I don't know about you? You have my full and undivided attention. And I would like to know and see everything about you. And notice that vibration, that experience, that peace that we've brought forward begins to change. It is literally thriving under the light of our presence. The only thing it's been asking for is you. And now you give it your full awareness, and it has the love and the presence, lack of judgment, total acceptance that it's always wanted. Beautiful. Yeah. We say, is there anything else? Is there more that you would like to show me? And notice if it's different than when you first started noticing it. Has it changed at all? Is it the same, smaller, bigger? Did it turn into something else? Isn't it amazing what your presence will do and what you are? Yeah. We say, thank you. Thank you for showing yourself. Thank you so much. I'm here. All is loved. All is welcome. is loved. All is welcome. All is loved. Yeah, beautiful. So, just taking a moment to, what's that? No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll just check and see if there's anything I thought I really needed to say. So, just take a deep breath and just kind of notice your relationship with that aspect of your life and maybe what's different about it now. Yeah. What I find in that presence practice is it does two things. Well, bazillion things, but two or three that I really notice. One is it tunes me in to presence that I am. I'm out of my identification with the thing in life, my life or anybody else's. By the way, you can do this with anything in the world. You can do it with the state of affairs or what somebody's ideas are about masks or no masks or about Republican or Democrats or about should it be this way or should it be that way. We know we have opinions. We're human. We're going to have opinions. But if we'd be present with it this way and ask it to show us what it is instead of being what we tell it is, that's my snag a lot. If I say, this is a bad thing that's happening to me, or this is my problem, the universe honors me and says, great, oh, she told us we're a problem. Let's see how much of a problem we can be. It's so honoring. It's so honoring. And so when I do this, I become neutral. I'm fully, you see what I'm talking about presence being unconditional love. When I'm fully present with it, whatever it is, out there or in here, all the same. When I'm fully present with it, without opinion, agenda, requirement, several things that are very profound happen. One, I am tuned into my presence. I am living as the space of presence, which is unconditional love. I am there. I'm noticing. I'm allowing. I am free to choose however I want to choose, but my state of being is neutral. I'm present. So good. It feels so good to be present. The other thing that happens is whatever in me or in the world that I have made wrong, that I have deemed less than God, that I have said, you're on this side of the vibrational spectrum and therefore no room at the inn. Whatever I've done that to, I have now welcomed in unconditional love, and it feels loved. Whatever it is, feels loved. What happens to us when we feel loved? We heal. We're peaceful. We're free. So, this presence practice does both of these things at once. It tunes us into our own infinite divine presence because we are that. But you know what? This little body, this person wearing the blue dress, she has her limitations. She has her opinions and her life story and all of her stuff. She is so hoping that this presence will stay with her. Because when that's here, I'm okay. No matter what. And I mean no matter what. Because you know what? We know the what is going to be. We live in a polar dualistic plane. It's 3D, and we live here as infinite beings. I do not see that we're going to eradicate polarity until we all co-create an entirely different dimension, which we may just do eventually. But for now, I think we're there already. It's already happening. And for now, we're also still experiencing this one. And this is what I found to be so beautiful is that we can have our feet, our hands, our heart, our everything in multiple dimensions at once. Let's just not make any of them wrong or mean that we're missing the point of the all. So this life for me, as I was saying, was a very helpful, like sort of visual. It's a subset. It's a subset of the whole that I am. Everything about Christine is a subset. Every single thing. And it is sure as heck not the truth of my being, but it's totally included in it. But it's not the fullness of it. How could it possibly be? So I don't want to leave her out, you know? I just don't want to leave her out. I don't want to say, Christine, if you're not acting and feeling and experiencing that these vibrational planes of the all that you are all the time, there's something you're missing. No, it's just, of course, my preference to do that. I feel better when I'm tuned in to the fullness of what I am rather than the subset. That's how it is for me, anyway. All right. Oh, that's good. Let's take a deep breath. So I'm just going to take a moment and just feel into if there's anything else that wants to come through, and just sort of feel where we are collectively, and see if there's anything that wants to be spoken to. Yeah. So one of the things is it's just so simple, and we don't have to be good at it. And so I always say, let's celebrate when we remember, and no judgment if I forget. I remember that piece I looked at. If you could do it a certain way all the time, you sure would. So let's cut ourselves a little slack. It's a little bit like one of the analogies that came to me was, okay, so there's a great big boat. It's the boat of life, of all that is. And there's a captain on the boat, and she knows everything about the boat. She knows all the waters. She knows the currents. She's actually outside of time and space, so she sees what's happened and also what's coming. She's all knowing. She's a captain that, like, she knows everything about her ship, and she knows everything about wherever the ship is. And then there are the various, people on the boat doing different tasks. And there's this third mate, and she's really, really good at cooking. And everybody on the boat needs to eat, and so they're super grateful that she's good at cooking. But if I go to the third mate and say, you need to come run the boat, she's like, actually, I am not capable of running the boat. I don't know all those things that the captain does. And we don't say, well, then you're a pretty bad third mate. That's my relationship with my human life. And I'm really good at being the third mate. And she's great. Really great life. And I allow that knowing to guide me without making myself wrong if I'm not in tune to it. I allow the wisdom of all that is to be present in me. And I don't make myself wrong if I find myself just doing 3D. Yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. All right, let's see if there's anything else. There's such a space of grace when we're in allowance rather than resistance. Once it was described to me that if I judge something, and meaning just I'm in resistance to it, because resistance is a judgment. It's a no, not that, and yes over here. No, not that, yes over here. And when I'm in this, that's my signal vibrationally to the universe that I would like to know more about it, because I'm engaged with it very actively. And it knows that. And it's like, oh, she's playing. She's playing. Let's go. And in it comes. So if I can move into a space of allowance and conscious choice in unconditional love and presence, I can navigate the same things that I don't like. I don't have to like them. I just have to not lock up against them. Okay, last thing is a story for you, and then I'm done with the talk. I know it's been kind of going on. So, one of the great ways that my life taught me this was that I had my son. How old is he now? I think he's 28. He had a very rough adolescence. And he got into drugs and alcohol early and into crime. And it was miserable. And as a parent, I was most definitely trying everything that I possibly could do to help change that course, including inpatient lockdown rehab twice, 30-day stints by the time he was 16. So it was intense. And I had fears, of course, because what mother isn't going to have a fear with a son like that? And you love them infinitely. And he was a horrible person then. He really was very difficult. And I say that without judgment. He was super unpleasant to be around. And, well, my fear came, which was that one day we found him and he was hanging and he was no longer alive. And we got him down and did CPR for 8 minutes before the EMTs arrived. And we had gotten him enough oxygen that I think his heart was going. That was it. Well, they eventually got him to the hospital and got him breathing. And then he coded for 20 minutes, which I found out later when I had a little conversation with him in the room because he started talking to me from the other side. And I found out later that that was exactly when he had been out for 20 minutes. And but he came back. And then he was in the coma. And he wasn't supposed to wake up from the coma, but he did. And then he wasn't supposed to have any meaningful life, but he did. And he went on to go to college at a small liberal arts academically rigorous school and ended up with a B average in business. And he lives on his own and he's a beautiful person and he has some lingering effects from his brain injury, but he's thriving and we just love each other and he's no longer in crime or in addiction because he killed that part off. So, what happened for me after that happened was I became resistant to a good deal of my life. Anything that might make that happen again, anything that was going to hurt like that, anything that was going to be too hard to bear, I was just like, no, 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 no. You know, you're just bracing. You're just bracing because you can't take it, right? There's a reason we do that. There's a reason we resist. Life is painful. So we resist the painful parts. Totally understandable, not helpful. So I developed what was diagnosed as a disease. They said, yep, you have all the clinical things and there's nothing we can do about it and you'll have it forever and it'll get worse and we'll treat your symptoms as best we can. And I remember thinking, not for me. And so I no longer have that disease. I'm also no longer in resistance to the lower half of the spectrum, but I'm very present to it. And my son was a great teacher for that. And he guided me so lovingly. And when I spoke with him, when he was no longer in his body, and he said, Mom, he was clear as a bell. He said, Mom, it's so good here. And I'm so happy. And I feel so good. And it's just so good. And I said, I totally get that. I just don't think you're done yet. I feel like you have more to do here, but that's up to you and everything there with you. And then the journey of healing from that became my own journey into presence so that I could be in life, including the things that are the most painful that I just don't know how to deal with. Because when you're in that, we've all been there. If you listen to anybody's life long enough, everybody has their story. What do we do so that we can allow? And what it was that you said, am I going to go down or am I going to go up vibrationally? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be fully present with whatever is in me with no requirement because I'm not going to be in resistance because my resistance turned into a lot of pain. And then I'm going to be with it again and again. And then I'm going to know that no matter what's happening, it will take me higher and lighter and more joyful and more loving and more free. And that is the only thing happening. And how is that going to happen? By me being present to it. With all of me, not just my human part, not just little human going, I'll hold your hand, because honestly, my human's not good enough at that. It's my infinite divine knowing and presence going, I am here and I'm not going anywhere and I am with you. And it's okay how you feel and what you're doing. It's okay. I've got it. We've got this. That to me is the great healing within and the healing in the world. And then we make choices in love and we honor our human preferences. I don't throw those out. And then I really am just left with gratitude. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today and for your space of presence and willingness to be here and allow me to share and to honor that light that we all are and that knowing and that beautiful infinite presence and grace and power. So it is.
That was truly amazing. I honestly barely impressed. It, it was inspired. You know, it was very inspiring and heart. You could feel it in the heart. So great job. If you appreciated it, her talk as much as I did, like, why don't you come up and let her know after the service using appropriate COVID measures, of course. Um, Now's the time for donations. If you'd care to make a donations. They're greatly appreciated, especially during this time when we can't gather for large groups, for normal programs. Many teachers say that the act of unselfish giving is beneficial to both the giver and the receiver and opens the consciousness to greater prosperity. You at home that are not here can donate electronically by clicking on the donate button in our homepage, which connects you to the New Thought PayPal account. And you don't need to have a PayPal account to do that. There's a choice to donate by debit or credit card. Donations by check can be mailed to New Thought Center of Hawaii at P.O. Box 333, Kealakekua, Hawaii 96740. And of course, all donations are fully tax deductible for tax purposes. I was supposed to ask you if you could play a little giving music during the. And then maybe if you just keep playing during my announcements, it'll make it easier to take for everybody. Thank you. Upcoming presenters on May 9th is Sheila Galen. Her title is What Your Mother Really Wants You to Know. On May 16th, yeah, I kind of like dictated this by my voice to the phone and it spelling came out like, what's that mean? Jinan Wang, a Tai Chi, local Tai Chi master, speaks to us about the benefits of Tai Chi with music by Joe Conte. He's great. You don't want to miss that. On May 23rd, presentation by Marianne Mon, Yoga in the Spirits World, music by Madhaval Infinity. Then on May 30th, Maria Al Gutierrez. We don't have the title for that yet. Then on Mondays from 5 to 6:30 p.m., here at the center, we have gentle evolutionary yoga, flow with Marian Mon. All levels are welcome, $15 to $20 sliding scale. Or conscious commerce, and I wondered what that is supposed to mean. I wonder if that means I can just bring some papayas and avocados and to it, but anyways. Then on Sundays, beginning on the May 9th, we'll be restarting Crystal Bowls thanks to Ramona Owen. And this takes place from 9 a.m. to 9:30 before the Sunday service. And if possible, you might need to make reservations because the space is limited to 8 participants and social distancing and face coverings will be required. So that could be it. We could be done. If you would like to stand up for the closing song, you can do that. And the closing song is a Hawaii Aloha. Maybe you could start us off in it since I can't sing. Hawaii.
Meine ahe makani e pa meine Maukelo no Hawaii E haoli na opio Hawaii nei Oli e Meine ahe makani e pa meine Maukelo no Hawaii Maukelo no Hawaii.
All right. Once again, hey, thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate your being here. I think we're complete. See you next time. And don't forget to remember to